2, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Stood. We get down now.
Well, until now, the Australians have had a fairly uneventful time up here. None of that frontline experience that we've seen being experienced by the Americans. But that all changed just a few minutes ago. A round came in, a mortar round, and dropped about 100 metres outside the wall, and a few more have come since. They're obviously trying to move closer and find their target.
The ground war began at 4 a.m. in the Gulf. The Iraqis were surprised and overwhelmed. This first day of the ground war has gone better than anyone could have dared predict it. The Serbs have taken 2/3 of Bosnia. The cameraman who took these pictures was hit by shrapnel. The first American troops slipped quietly onto the beaches in Mogadishu in the early morning hours. The US troops are now edging their way towards the city, confiscating weapons as they go. This may look like some sort of war, but the Americans prefer to call it their battle to save the starving. Yes, well, certainly an historic day here in the street outside of Nelson Mandela's house in Soweto.
I greet you all in the name of peace.
A mere few days ago, this would have been a shooting offence, but how the order has changed. Now the wall is almost a plaything, something to be enjoyed. With the permission of Parliament, Charles could still succeed to the throne. His new wife, if there was one, would become Queen of England. The Catholic section of Belfast closed down today as the tens of thousands of mourners farewelled the 3 members of the IRA.
Get down! Get down! Get down! Everybody get down!
It's thought that many bombs may be still planted in some of the graves. The situation here is still very tense.
Obviously a major malfunction.
America has now gone into a week of mourning for the astronauts. The continual stalling by Spate has further distressed the hostages' families today. After 5 weeks of this, they now feel that they have also become his victims.
He's a good kisser.
For the first time in months, Hillary Clinton rejoined the public battle to save her husband. She hinted there'd been enough heartbreak and it was time to forgive. George Bush has little to celebrate. He's won this election by a hair's breadth and will be forever reminded that it was eventually decided by the judges.
It collapsed. The top floors collapsed down.
At this stage, it's impossible to get any idea of the casualty numbers, though the grim reality is the World Trade Center is the workplace of up to 50,000 people. So just as the hurricane... They've been predicting a catastrophe of these proportions for years here in New Orleans, but still when it happened, they weren't ready.
These events have caused a nightmare for my family, my children and me.
And we're expecting even more fireworks when the boy's mother appears in the witness stand because the Jackson people say she is the problem. Christopher Reeve was 52 and a superman to the very end. Oh, here we go. Brazil is making no secret of the fact that this is a very blatant attempt to win the Olympic Games for Rio in 2012, meaning the $5 million they've spent this week is just the start of it. In Rio de Janeiro, Robert Penfold, National 9 News.